People have waited over 100 days for their Yeezy clothing only to find out now that it doesn't fit. Nike have revealed the future of their footwear and it looks pretty crazy. Shock drops for the military blues, as well as updates on numbers for this release, as well as heaps more sneaker news and some enlightening sneaker commentary from yours truly. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Sneaker Wrap. I do these episodes every Saturday where we look back through the biggest stories in sneakers, talk about some exciting upcoming releases, and generally have a gay old time. Let's start things off by talking about this week's biggest releases, and one of the biggest releases that went down this week was the trifecta of Kobe releases. We had the Kobe 4 in the Phillies colorway, as well as the Kobe 6 in the Italian camo, and the Kobe 8 in the Venice Beach colorway. Now the big release for you guys this week over there in the USA was the shock drop of the military blues or the industrial blues. Now we are going to talk a little bit about the military blues in today's episode. There have been some updates with regard to not only the release date but also the stock numbers. We also had the release of the New Balance 1000s, the collab with Joe Freshgoods. If you missed out on that drop, don't worry too much because these are going to be releasing on the New Balance website, I think on the 19th, so you can take a fresh L then. We also had the Hidden New York collab on the Asics Gel NYC. And here in the UK, we had the Jordan 3 Green Glow and the Awake New York Air Ships. Pretty stacked release week, to be fair. Did you guys come up on anything? I certainly didn't. Right, let's kick it into some news now, and I want to start off by talking about Nike. I don't think it's controversial to say that at the moment there's a general sentiment out there that Nike aren't really bringing us anything new and exciting. Retros and Nike product aren't selling out anymore. The stuff is sitting and going on sale. As a result, Nike stocks are down and the pressure is mounting from stockholders. And in an earnings call this week, the Nike CFO and CEO said that they were going to be using this summer's Paris Olympic Games as a launch pad to renovate the brand and revivify interest in their technologies. And this week in Paris, we saw the Nike On Air event, which was a celebration of Nike athletes. It was the unveiling of the different kits for the Olympic Games, and Nike used the event to showcase some exciting new products, including some futuristic AI-assisted designs for some of their top athletes in a number of different sporting codes. And so let's go through some of these crazy sneakers because some of these are wild. This sneaker here is made for Victor Wembenyama, and as you can see, it is out the gate crazy. These look like some kind of futuristic iron. These, I can see the vision. These look like a genuine shoe, but these, which were made for marathon runner Eliud Kipchoge, apologies for the name there. These look more like something Oscar Pistorius would wear in the Paralympics, never mind the Paris Olympics. And look, at this point, the sneakers are starting to look a little bit more like wearable art or some kind of modern art. This shoe here, bro, this looks like some kind of upmarket snooty appliance. Bro, I don't even know how these would work. These are some track spikes made for Sha'Carri Richardson, and you can see these sort of fit her aesthetic with this helicoidal or this kind of helix design running up the leg. These look like some foam runners if Ye had stayed at Adidas. And you get the general gist of the vibe here. These are crazy. This is the type of footwear that I guess we might see on athletes in 5 or 10 years time. But what do you guys think of this? Now, all of the excitement wasn't solely centered around these AI joints. We also saw the debut of the GT Hustle 3, which apparently has taken its design from data derived from using them. Apparently, wearing these sneakers results in using less oxygen, so more air in the technology, less air that you have to use. Pretty cool marketing, but these do look pretty nice. But I think the standout shoe from the event that a lot of people have been talking about, and a sneaker that's going to be made available pretty soon, is the Nike Pegasus Premium. Now, I think the Nike Pegasus is the longest standing Nike model, or it's the longest standing line within the Nike portfolio. And apparently these Pegasus Premiums come with an updated air technology, that being the molded curving of the air unit. That was, according to the quote here, pretty hard to perfect. And that's not all. Nike also unveiled a breakdancing shoe called the Nike Jam. These look pretty cool. They almost look a little bit like a Y2K runner. The midsole features an upside down swoosh, a nod to being upside down as a breakdancer. And they have instep cushioning and some technology that is supposed to allow for impact absorption and all that type of stuff. And there's also a new Nike SB skate shoe that was also unveiled as well. And these are looking pretty cool, man. Silhouette on these is really clean. They have the Bowerman prototype on the tongue, Flyknit technology, the looping lacing system. I've got to say, I think this is one of Nike's cleanest looking new models in a while. These and the Nike Jams are pretty cool. What do you guys think of this new product from Nike? Are you excited to see this wheel out during the Olympics? And do you think this is the right strategy for them to get people back into the brand again? Let me know what you think. After months and months of waiting, people are finally starting to receive their Yeezy orders. There are a lot of people that have also been met with disappointment, with orders being canceled, but we're now starting to see people get their items in hand and share how these things fit and show how they look and stuff. And one video that went quite viral this week was the video of this guy here taking receipts of his clobber and chucking it on in a very dismayed fashion. Check this out.
Kanye, come on, son. He'll look like a little scrunchie you put in your little baby head. What do you got in the back?
A one, dog.
This is not the one.
I think my favorite part is when the number on the back gets called out and he says, no, this is not the one. I didn't cop any of this stuff myself. I don't think it's that bad, some of it. I mean, it's quite boxy, it's quite baggy. I personally like that type of aesthetic. I think the only thing that's caught people off guard is the sizing system. You can buy like a 1, a 2, or a 3. It doesn't seem like there's much in the way of guidance when it comes to fitting and measurements and stuff like that. But the overall quality looks half decent considering all these pieces were going for 20 bucks. And so whilst I can't say I'm inspired to cop any of this stuff myself after seeing these videos and seeing how they fit, I'm sure a lot of people out there are able to get off some good fits. What do you guys think about this whole Yeezy line? Let me know. Right, let's talk about Victor Wembenyama. Last week we had the solar eclipse over there in the USA, and this gave a really opportune moment for Nike to unveil his logo, which a lot of people are calling the best logo out there, or top 5 logos at the moment, or whatever. It features an alien motif. You've kind of got the W stealthily inlaid into the logo. You've got the double swooshes, and I do agree the logo is pretty cool. It fits his image, it fits his brand. But the other interesting thing that crept out of this whole on-air experience in Paris this week was the statue of Wembenyama, where he's wearing this pair of previously unseen Nikes that kind of look, to be fair, like a Yeezy 700 V3 or something. But some people have been speculating, could this be the Victor Wembenyama signature shoe that is only inevitable at this point? I think these could be. I think this logo is a W. What do you guys think? It's not super sneaker news related, but I had to talk about this because I feel like these guys did my man AI a little bit dirty with this statue, especially with this angle of the video. He was seen unveiling his own statue this week, and when he lifted the drape, everybody was just cracking up at how small this statue is. I mean, we're used to seeing these big statue unveilings wherein the statue is like massive and it's really ominous and posing and impressive. And it feels like bro got done a little bit dirty with this one. I mean, some people have been calling this a Funko Pop. Some people have been saying that there's more questions than answers with regard to why they chose to do this statue like this. But if you look at the statue up close and if you get right next to it, it looks pretty cool. If you're interested, he's wearing the Reebok Question 4s, but I just thought, especially from this angle, this looked really funny. Right, let's talk about some new sneakers, some new looks, some upcoming kicks, all that good stuff. I want to start off with the Nike Supreme SB Darwin collection, which are actually dropping this week on the Supreme app. So if you're into this model, make sure you guys are up with the play because they're going to be releasing on the Supreme website as well as the Nike Sneakers app, maybe, but that could be a release further down the line. Now there's 3 colorways. There's this white and blue colorway, and then there's this camo colorway, and then there's this all black colorway. When images first surfaced of this shoe, quite a few people were getting excited because this is basically a Nike Darwin, which obviously is a Rodman shoe, which has the reverse check on it. So at least on those grounds alone, there's a little bit of hype, but I'm not sure whether or not these are going to be the big hype reseller that we think they're going to be. I can definitely see them being popular, and they will no doubt sell out instantly on Supreme, but I don't know, man. I think they're kind of cool. I'm not like desperate for a pair. I would take a pair for resale just to check them out, but yeah, what do you guys think? Official images have loaded for the Travis Scott Jordan Jumpman Jack University Red, and these are set to come out on the 1st of May. And at this point, May is looking hella stacked with a lot of exciting shoes. And I do like this colorway. I think these are nice. They kind of have a similar blocking to the pair that's coming out, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. But obviously with the red swoosh gives them a nice bit of pop and contrast. The creamy outsole is working for me on these. Let's talk about the Jordan 4 Military Blue. I know you guys over there in the US had the shock drop this past week, and I'm not sure if we should be expecting something similar here in the UK and the EU. Maybe there'll be an exclusive access type thing wheel out next week or the week after. Don't know, don't quote me on that. But the latest rumors around this shoe are that there's going to be something like over 1.5 million pairs of these. Obviously, it's a full-size run. There's going to be kids pairs and GS sizes and all that sort of stuff. So this should be a shoe that should be quite copable. Now, we had seen rumors around the release date being a little bit later on in May, something like the 25th, but apparently these are coming out on May the 4th. So really not that long to wait if you want to get them, and if you do want them, should be pretty easy to get. Speaking of Jordan 4 news, we've also had some detailed looks at the oxidized green pair, which are also coming out this summer. At this point, the early suggestions are they're coming out mid-June, and these also look really nice, really clean colorway. According to these pics, you can't really pick out the creamy midsole, but according to these other pics that I sourced from XC Sneaker, who has these physically in hand, you can make out a little bit more of an oxidized or a creamed out back air unit midsole, which I think lends itself well to this color scheme. We are getting a lot of Air Jordan 4s this year, which is understandable given it's the model's 35th anniversary, but I do think that this year will almost certainly mark the end in the Jordan 4 hype. And Jordan Brand aren't slowing up on the retros. We heard this week that we're going to be getting the cool gray Air Jordan 9. These are also set to come out next year and will be coming out for the first time since 2012. And this is one of those Air Jordan 9s, one of these few Air Jordan 9s that MJ actually balled out in on court, albeit he wasn't a bull when he was wearing these, he was a wizard. Had some detailed looks at one of this year's cleanest Air Jordan 1 highs in my opinion. These are the first in flights. Unfortunately, this is a women's only colorway, so if you can't fit into anything past the US 10.5, then you just might as well skip past this section and go to the next chapter. But I think these look really nice. They do have that UNC Tar Heel PE vibe about them. I have said that my only criticism of these is that kind of off-color Wings logo that looks a little bit yellowy or orangey on the side. I think these would have been way cleaner if they'd just kept it white or even black and simple, but it's still a nice looking shoe. The quality does look good, and these on-foot shots show them in a pretty sweet light. And I think because Jordan 1 hype has fallen off an absolute cliff, these should be pretty easy to cop when they drop in July. Apparently New Balance have got a collab on the way with a Baltimore skate shop called View Skate Shop. And this model takes inspiration from the New Balance 990. It sports the classic, synonymous with New Balance at this point, gray colorway. Got some orange felt line tongue action, custom chest themed insole graphic. And you got a shout out to Baltimore's area code on the heel. I do think this is a really smart shoe. Reebok are teaming up with Hot Wheels to bring out some Hot Wheels inspired sneakers, and these look pretty cool, man. This collection features 2 classic leather step N flash and 2 zig N glow colorways inspired by the brand's most legendary die-cast cars. And I think if you're a big fan or you're a nostalgic collector of all things Hot Wheels, these are going to be a bit of a no-brainer. If you're looking at them purely from an aesthetic sneakerhead standpoint, you might not be overly invested in them, but I think a little bit like the Adidas Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab, these brands are sort of identifying a target market in the nostalgic 80s and 90s kids that are now grown up and have money and want to splash it around buying things that they recognize from their childhood. And so I can understand what they're doing with these products. But as cool as they are, as cool as the ideas are, I can't see myself copying. What do you guys think? We've got another Nike SB collaboration on the way. This is actually an SB and a Converse collaboration with Sumin Aine. Man, I can't say this name. I'm so sorry. Suminia. Oh man, I'm gonna say Sumineye. Sumineye, there we go, Sumineye. I don't know who Sumineye is. It's Alexi Sablon. Oh, the bro's a skater, I think. Yeah, listen, these SBs look pretty sweet, but bro, these could bring up all kinds of phobias for certain people. What is it, like traxophobia or something like that? Is it traxophobia? Oh, trypophobia. Yeah, it's trypophobia, man. If you, bro. If you have trypophobia, these are gonna absolutely crawl under your skin and set it on fire. If you're not trypophobic, these are pretty cool. And if you are, then you can just go for the Converse, I suppose. But at least according to these images, yeah, they can bring on a little bit of anxiety. Michael Jordan's game-worn Air Jordan 11 playoffs, or breads, or black and reds, whatever you want to call them. They are called the playoffs though, because he rocked them in the playoffs. They sold this week for $482,000, and they were sold by a former Seattle Sonics ball boy. That is a massive come up. It's kind of cool to see in the obviously waning sneaker market, and in particular the high-end luxury collectibles market, that these types of shoes are still selling for crazy money, although obviously not the type of money that we saw similar types of shoes selling for 2-3 years ago, where they were fetching in some cases up to 1.8 million. Now Nike aren't slowing up on the Kobe production. There are set to be something like 5 new colorways coming out this fall. We have this black colorway right here, then we have the white and purple colorway that I showcased last week. There's also another black colorway with a white swoosh, navy pair, there's a red pair. It's getting to the point now where the whole Kobe Protro stuff is starting to feel like it's being a little bit rinsed out. It's a little bit of an interesting issue, because some people might be a little bit against the idea of Nike continuing to capitalize on Kobe's death or the passing of Kobe and the resurgence in popularity because of that exact reason. And then other people would be maybe potentially mad at Nike for withholding this product or not giving the shoes, the retros or the protros that we would have loved to have had regardless if Kobe was living or dead. I don't know. It's an interesting debate there. Where do you guys land on that? Right, let's finish off by talking about this week's most exciting sneaker releases. On April the 15th, you have the Air Max 1 Jackie Robinson, the big bubble. These are looking really clean. There are some early looks and even some early reviews out there. Very limited. Apparently something in the region of 30,000 pairs for this release, so good luck if you're trying to come up on those. April the 15th, we have the Nike Air Force 1 Low wallet coming out. That's right, Nike are coming after all of those crafty people that like to deconstruct and reassemble the materials of said shoes into wallets and card holders and that type of stuff. They are coming for you. It was only inevitable, but these are dropping in something like 5 different colorways. $30 I think is the retail for these. And then later on in the month, I think there are a set of Air Max 90 inspired wallets coming as well. So RIP to all of you cool creatives out there who have probably been doing this for a long time. Nike are onto you. April the 17th, the Nike SB Dunk Low Big Money Savings are dropping. You might want to keep an eye out for your local skate shop raffles and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure if these are going to be dropping at the same time here in the UK. It's an interesting shoe. It's a cool idea. I do like the idea behind the shoe. And then, as I said before, you have the Supreme Darwin collection coming out on the Supreme website, as well as the Nike sneakers app further down the line. I think you've got 4 different colorways. I forgot to mention the Vault pair before when I covered them earlier on in the episode, but yeah. You've got the khaki pair, you've got the sail pair, you've got the Vault pair, you've also got the black pair, Supreme release, and then later on the sneakers app. And then on April the 20th, you've got the Jordan 1 High Green Glow, and then you also have, for you guys over there in America, April the 20th, the Hike Nike Book 1. If you guys wanted to check out my review on that, you can scroll back a couple of videos and check out my thoughts. Pretty cool week, a couple of sneaky cool pairs in there. And that is it for this week's sneaker wrap. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the video. Do me a favor and like the video before you bounce. Drop a comment. Always enjoy reading what you guys have to say. And if you do want to keep up with me in real time, go over and give me a follow on IG as well as TikTok. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Got heaps more cool videos coming out for you early next week. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.